viewing your bankroll as an investment. Being able to view our bankroll as an investment. What does that mean? That means that the bankroll that you got, you know, the money that you have set aside to bet on sports, you're using that as your investment, your nest egg, pretty much, to try to build. You're trying to build that into something that can produce passive income for yourself. That's what we're going to try to do here using sports betting, because there's other investments and stuff that you could use, you know, putting money away and stuff like that. But for us, we're going to talk about sports betting here. First off, how do you manage your bankroll? I get this every day. People are telling me, you know, what their bankroll is, how they're managing it or whatnot. So I'm interested in, you know, you guys that are watching, throw it down in the comments. How do you manage yours? Do you take a little bit of money each paycheck? Do you put that away? Or do you already have that amount set aside that you know, I got this set amount, this is what I'm using, you know, and I'm not putting any more into it and I'm not taking anything out of it. Now, viewing it as an investment, what does that mean really, you know? So it's realizing that the goal is for long-term growth over time. Not, I'm taking my bankroll, I'm risking half of it tonight, and if I win, then I'm gaining a tremendous amount. If I lose, I'm losing half of my investment. We're not doing that. All right, that is not how you're supposed to be viewing your investment / bankroll. You're not supposed to be viewing it that way. You got to understand that over time, if I could gradually build this, then it can develop into something. Just like 401ks and stuff like that. It doesn't happen overnight, right? It takes a long time for you to be able to build money in those accounts. It shouldn't be no different when it comes to sports betting. So don't have the unrealistic expectations when it comes down to it. Just don't, because this happens a lot. Every day I get people with unrealistic expectations when it comes to sports betting. Now, when you go and you book a call to talk to me, I make you fill out an application because first off, I want to see where your brain is at and what you're thinking. So I ask on there, what gains do you want to see out of your bankroll? Now, my bankroll's $100 and I'd like to see my bankroll at $100,000 in a year. Or my bankroll is $1,000 and I like to see it on $100,000 in a month. Or I have $5,000 and I want to see it in $50,000 this month. Guys, just when you go and put that down, makes me realize you don't understand the concept of what it is to invest money or to even work with a certain type of bankroll, because it's unrealistic. You're not going to take $100 and you're not going to make $100,000 on it. The only way you're going to be able to do that is by betting some outrageous parlays that are not going to cash. They're just not going to happen. Sportsbooks know this, hence the reason why they tout it so much and they put it on all their promotions and stuff. And you see, oh man, this guy, you know, he picked every home run hitter last night and put down $20 and made $30,000. Well, they put that out there, they're gonna get everybody to be trying that stuff. And they know that it's a losing proposition and that you're just gonna donate to them. So that's why they promote that stuff. But you can't have unrealistic expectations. You gotta have realistic expectations and know that I'm not gonna make 100% return in a week. Like, it's not gonna happen. And if it does, because you've hit some crazy parlay, it's not gonna continue. It's just not. And you'll just more likely, you'll give it all back. That's the way that it'll work. Now, here's what I used to do. So when I used to work a 9-to-5 job and, you know, I needed to build my bankroll up and whatnot, I would use the 50-30-20 rule. All right, so 50% of your paycheck goes to your needs, 30% goes to your wants, and 20% went to my bankroll. So I would just keep adding that to my bankroll every week. And then each paycheck that I put away that 20% into my bankroll, that's what I would work off as my total at the end of the month. I would reassess it, and then I would correlate that with my unit size, and then I would keep going, you know, and then every week or every 2 weeks, whenever I got paid, I would take that 20%, put it back into my bankroll, and just keep adding to it, keep adding and keep going. Now, obviously, you know, if you're losing money and you don't know what you're doing, that even following what I'm telling you right now, it's still going to be a losing proposition, obviously, because you're going to be losing, so you'll be losing money. So you got to have the right strategies in place. So you can't just go out there and start guessing and think that, you know, oh, I'm going to keep stacking my bankroll while I'm just guessing. It's not going to happen. You got to have certain things in place to be able to do that. Now, one thing I do want to discuss here is compound interest and how you can use that in your bankroll and how I was able to use that when I was putting money away and then reassessing it every month. So every month you start out with a new set amount because you're either winning or you're losing, obviously. So it's going to be a different amount. If you're adding money into it, then it should be more. If you're not losing money, it should be more. But if you're losing money, then obviously it's going to be different as well. It's going to be less. But I would always reassess it after a month, and then I would correlate that with my unit size. So between that 1 to 3 or 1 to 5% in that range, you know, depending on how much money I had as my bankroll, that's how I would reassess it. Now, doing that consecutively over a year and compounding it, I just wanted to use for an example on here on the slide that I put on here for you guys, that a $5,000 bankroll, for example, using compound interest and just making 10 units a month. If you're making 10 units a month and you're compounding that every single month, now look at what the 5,000 turned into. 5,000 turned into 15, all right? And that's a year. Now, it might not look like crazy numbers, right? I took 5 and made $80 or $100,000 off of $5,000, but taking $5,000 and making $15,000 off of it, that's a pretty solid return. That's a 213% 214%, almost 214% return. So you got to realize that. Got to understand that like that right there, that's just a making 10 units a month and then being able to compound it on top of that. That's what you're able to get off a $5,000 bankroll, which is in the industry of sports betting is pretty good. All right, that's pretty good. Now, how many people out there aren't even using a $5,000 bankroll and then they're trying to think that they're going to make $100,000 this year off of $1,000? That's just not going to happen. That's not what real investing is. That's not what real sports betting is. Anybody could get lucky and win $100,000 on some stupid parlay. I get that. But is it going to be you? That's just like me telling you you're going to hit Mega Millions. It's the same thing. Is it going to be you that hits the Mega Millions lottery? You don't know. All right. So that's the problem with it, is that there's a very, very slim chance that that could even happen. Now let's talk about the benefits of being able to understand, your bankroll is your investment. So increasing your discipline level is obviously that's going to happen because you're forcing yourself to stick to a straight path and not fall off that wagon and, have the unrealistic expectations that like, I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to make $100,000 off of, $1,000. The unrealistic expectations, they go out the door. So you're more straight arrowed and understand, what it is you need to do. And then you're going to eventually build a nice nest egg, which is your bankroll that you can rely on in the future to be able to pull money from. And that will be a passive income source because you don't put too much work into it. So for me, example, betting on sports, looking through research, all that stuff takes me between 15 minutes to an hour every day. That's not a lot of time. And then it's pretty much passive income from there. All right. You got to put in a little bit of work, but not too much. And then you collect the money. That's it. Now, like I said, you obviously need the right strategies in order to do that. Because if you're just guessing, you are not going to be successful at it. You're not going to gain. Your bankroll is not going to grow if you're guessing. If you're doing the wrong strategies, if you're taking your buddies' bets, if you're betting on your favorite teams, if you're doing stuff like that, that is not going to grow your bankroll. More than likely, you're just going to bleed out. Even if you're straight betting, you're going to slowly bleed out. So you need the right strategies in order to be able to do that stuff. And like I always tell you guys before, if you guys are interested in me coaching you and teaching you how to do that, you go down below and click the link down in the description, because I do this every day, guys. I show people how to do this stuff every day. And if you guys follow me, you guys know I've been doing this for a minute, showing everybody how to do it. But it's very important to look at your bankroll and look at sports betting as an investment. Not a lot of people do. They just think it's gambling in general. They just think, oh, you're just gambling. But if you're investing in stock market, you're gambling too. Why is that any different? That's no different. You're gambling just as much if you're putting your money in there. Stock market goes down, your money goes down, you lose money. You lose a bet, you lose money. Stock market goes up, you make money. You win your bets, you make money. It's the same stuff. Now let's go over here to the questions and see if you guys got any questions that are in here. Charles says, I'm starting this Friday. Hope I will be successful. Listen, as long as you do the right things, you will be successful. If you do the right things and you emulate people that are successful, you're going to be successful. That's just the way things work. I have a problem with discipline. I'm always greedy. After I win, I rush for the next bet. So I have other videos on this as well when it comes to, the greed level. When you win, it's not enough and then you keep going and then eventually you start losing. This happens. To combat that, you have to act the same way from when you lose as when you win. It's the same reaction. You're emotionless when it comes to it. You win, you move on. You lose, you move on. That's just the way that it goes. If you can adapt that mentality, then you'll never get greedy with it and try to press and try to get more out of that. Currently letting bankroll sit without touching it, trying to work towards $1,000 bankroll. Good. And you will. You'll get there. Just like I said, if you use what I used when I first started out, like I said, that 50-30-20 rule, you'll be able to, stack money in your bankroll. I mean, it's not going to be a crazy amount in 1 month, but over time you'll get it there and then you can work off of it. Congrats for the 2 comma club. How much is the program? Nobody has really realized what that is yet. You're the first person that realized what that 2 comma club award is. I appreciate you pointing that out. As for the program costs, go down, book a call. I suggest you go down there because I don't even know if we could help you first off. I don't want to just spit out numbers to everybody because if we can't truly help you and I don't think I could truly help you, then I'm not going to get you in the program. It's as simple as that. But if I think I can help you, then 100% we'll figure out a way to get you in. Chris, you started with $1,000 end of January and now at about $2,200, about 6.5 months, usually $20 to $30 bets, taking advantage of specials like odds boost. That's great. That's solid, Chris. I like that. And it shows that, for you doing that with $1,000 bankroll over 6 months, that you stay disciplined, you stay consistent with it. It shows right there. That's very solid. So keep up the good work. Definitely keep up the good work, because some people, when they're betting $20, $30 range, they don't take it serious. And the next thing you know, they're just throwing money out there, because you should be taking a $20, $30 bet serious just as much as you'd be taking a $500 to $1,000 bet. No matter what, you're taking your own money and putting it out there. So always take it serious no matter the amount of money that you're putting in. I'll just bet on what you bet on. You'll just bet on what I bet on. Yep, that's true, James. But like I said, guys, when I coach people and teach you guys how to do this stuff, it's always better to learn how to do it than to just take somebody's picks, for example. It's better to do that. You know, you want to learn for yourself so you don't have to rely on anybody else. It's as easy as that. All right, I appreciate everybody in the comment section that went in there. Make sure you guys go give me a thumbs up, like this video if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe as well. And also, if you guys are interested in me teaching you one-on-one, go down in the description and click the link down there. As always, guys, I'm Frank, Linemaker Sports. I appreciate every single one of you guys out there. I'll see you later.